control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. Nod my head, don't close my eyes, halfway on a slow move. It's the same way you showed me. If you could fly, then you'd feel south. Up north's getting cold soon. The way it is, we're on land, so I'm someone to hold true. Keep you cool when it's still alive, won't let you down when it's all ruined. Just the same way you showed me, showed me. You showed me love, glory from above, regardless, dear. It's all downhill from here. In the wake of a hurricane, dark skin of a summer shade, nosedive in the floodlines, tall tower, milk crate. It's the same way you showed me. Cannonball off the porch side, older kids trying off the roof. Just the same way you showed me. You showed. If you could die and come back to life, up for air from the swimming pool, you kneel down to the dry land, kiss the earth that birthed you, gave you tools just to stay alive and make it out when the sun is ruined. That's the same way you showed me, showed. You showed me love, glory from above, regardless, dear. It's all downhill from here. Remember life, remember how it was. I'm G, Michael Jackson, all in shit. Say what up to Randy, the shoe. Say what up to Danny. Say what up to life and my child. Running up my bikes, running up. I'm from B, 18, still in granny 6. Take it easy. Give me some sweet, which I might like immortality. This is life, life, immortality. That's the way every day goes. Every time we've no control. If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, it's the same way you showed me. Nod my head, don't close my eyes, halfway on a slow move. It's the same way you showed me. If you could fly, then you'd feel south. Up north's getting cold soon. The way it is, we're on land, so I'm someone to hold true. Keep you cool when it's still alive, won't let you down when it's all ruined. Just the same way you showed me, showed me. You showed me love, glory from above, regardless, dear. It's all downhill from here. In the wake of a hurricane, dark skin of a summer shade, nosedive in the floodlines, tall tower, milk crate. It's the same way you showed me. Cannonball off the porch side, older kids trying off the roof. Just the same way you showed me. You showed. If you could die and come back to life, up for air from the swimming pool, you kneel down to the dry land, kiss the earth that birthed you, gave you tools just to stay alive and make it out when the sun is ruined. That's the same way you showed me, showed. You showed me love, glory from above, regardless, dear.
Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is February 17th, 2023. And we are in a bull market, if you haven't yet noticed. We are in a bull market, okay? And a lot of analysts, experts, speculators, market participants are still kind of unsure about that. They're still on the fence. They can't yet decide, right? They haven't received confirmation, as it were, yeah? And what's going to happen, most likely, very likely, what's going to happen is that they are going to miss the meat of this rally, because this bull market that we're currently in, as I speak, will happen and end faster than people realized, okay? It's not going to last as long as the previous bull rally, all right? It's going to be even faster, even more furious, and then it's going to be over. And by the time all of their confirmations have been confirmed, they will be left in the lurch, left scratching their heads as to what could have happened. How could this have happened? But the macro, but this, but that, right? This is why we study. This is why we train. This is why we practice. This is why we educate ourselves to the best of our abilities, so that we're not caught unawares and we really understand market trends, right? So many times I hear crypto market analysts say, well, this has never happened in crypto. That's never happened in crypto. If you're only using a 10 to 12 year market data set for the entirety of the knowledge of what a market can do, you've already lost, all right? And that's quite arrogant and unintelligent of you, given that traditional markets, other markets, have been going on for decades. And there is no dearth, there is no shortage of good, solid, reliable market data, market trend data, right? Because a market is a market is a market. What we're looking at is our trends, right? When we study Elliott Wave, when we study GAN, when we study Dow, when we study whatever, you're looking at trends. You assume, the assumption is, based off all of that data, based off all of history, human history, markets all move in a particular way, right? And so these people like Dow, like Elliott, like GAN, they found patterns that markets make, and that's what we study. So you don't, even if there's a nascent market like crypto that's, only a decade old, 10 to 12 years old, you don't have to be limited by that market data, by that price action, that little bit of price action to make your conclusions. This is why a lot of crypto traders suck at trading, suck at reading markets, because they're not looking past crypto, okay? And I hate traditional markets insofar as something to trade. I don't look at that. There's no money in that for me. I don't like it because it's manipulated. I don't like it because I think it's old, it's antiquated, there's circuit breakers, all that bullshit that we won't want to deal with, right? I love crypto. I love the 24/7 trading. I love the fact that it's democratized. I love the fact that I can futures, leverage, margin trade on my own, at my leisure, right? All I have to do, get into my phone, I can go 50, 100x, do whatever I want, right? This is the future. This is the future of finance. And that's why it's so popular, because people are like, ooh, I could do so many things that I didn't know I could do before with markets. I could speculate just like the rich, okay? So it's a great transfer of wealth. BitBoy says this very well. It's one of the biggest wealth transfers in history. Okay, but you have to learn how to play these markets, and it has nothing to do with crypto per se. You just have to learn to read the markets, okay? So this is why my channel, this forum, first and foremost is dedicated to sharing how I've read the markets and learning. And it's for me as well to learn, because if you've been subscribed for a while, you'll see I've grown as a in my skills. I've grown. I've gotten more refined. I've gotten more accurate. I've gotten more precise. I've developed ideas, and I hope you're doing the same. Okay, it's been hundreds of days, maybe thousands of days, maybe 1,000+ days. Yeah, we've been preparing for this very moment. This is the moment that we get a market that's favorably trending, right? Favorably trending means it's going up impulsively, right? Down impulsively is trending, but it's not favorable. You know why? Because in order to take advantage of a downwards impulsive market, you're going to have to short, okay? You can't just spot short. You got to have to actively leverage trade. Not everybody could do that. But in an uptrending market, uptrending impulsive market, even your grandma can buy some Bitcoin or some Dogecoin or whatever, just leave it in a wallet, leave it on exchange, wait a little bit, and multiply their investment value. So this is it. It's here, okay? And we've done a lot of analysis. Yesterday, we went into depth as to why this market wasn't going to last. This bull market wasn't going to last, okay? And we talked about it being a 2 to 3 market of 2 to 3 month affair, right? On about, right? And this is an educated guess, an educated estimate, but you know, I'm just going to recap a little bit. If you're interested in my projection for the bull market that we're currently in, just look over yesterday's February 16th, 2023's live stream, okay? I think it's titled something like when will this rally end, or when will this move up end, or something like that. I forget the title. In any case, I go over really carefully my method for projecting the time element of this rally, okay? And it's really important that I always tell you the method, because even if I do err in my conclusion, you can see where I went wrong and potentially even benefit from that by learning from my mistakes, or even learning how I did it if I was correct. You see what I mean? It's not enough to say this is going to happen, that's going to happen. In order for something to be useful to you, you have to make it your own. And by that, you have to do your own research. So that's why I'm huge into showing my process. This is not the channel where I'm just like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. No. And this indicator says this, that's a waste of time. Yeah. In any case, the quick and dirty of the timing is, if you look at Bitcoin since 2013, it's in this channel. It's well encapsulated, the price action in this channel. Mind you, very, very big deal that I have the log scale on. Without the log scale, you cannot read this chart. Ah, man, yesterday it broke my heart. One of the, another crypto YouTuber, he's not just a crypto YouTuber. This guy's been on the street, on Wall Street, for decades, and he's a seasoned analyst. He's well respected. He's worked at the big trading firms and the big banks, and he's worked in crypto for a bit as well. And he's big into GAN analysis, and that's not something a lot of people do. And I don't do GAN. GAN is really like cryptic. GAN analysis is tough to get. Okay, it takes a lot. It's a very steep learning curve. I'm always interested at people who seriously study GAN, so I watch his stuff. And lo and behold, he's doing analysis with the log scale off. It broke my fucking heart. All right, it broke my heart, and I understand. He's a traditional market guy, traditional finance guy. A lot of times, they're not dealing with this kind of parabolic price action, so they can get away with not using the log scale. But once you get into crypto, you can't get away with that kind of stuff. GAN analysis, you kind of can, maybe a little bit, because you're counting candles on a certain time frame. But still, his projection for this bull run, fell all the way to 2025 because he didn't set his chart up correctly. All right. So, I mean, don't make that mistake, guys. It happens to the best of us, and I'm not going to name him. I don't want to disparage him, but this guy, he says a lot of good things, and you know, besides that, I think he's a pretty good analyst. Anyway, yesterday we were saying how this is really clear. Like, if you look at a sound pattern, or like an EKG or something like that, you see these waves. You see them all throughout nature. This is no different. This is Bitcoin's EKG, okay? Like, that's what comes next. For people thinking it goes down below, I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's just that how high does it need to go for you to be invalidated and understand that this is a bull run, okay? A lot of you who think we're going to 10K, 12K, if you can't get your egos out of the way, you're not going to make it in terms of really getting the lion's share from this pump. You're not going to make it. So if you look at it, the channel really helps. Why? Because you go from the top of the channel to the bottom, back to the top, to the bottom. Now, remember, channel trading, the midline serves as resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it. We come and we find resistance, right? And now we we find resistance once, we found resistance twice, we come down. This is 1, 2 touches of resistance at the midline. This is when we break it, okay? And what's more important, and I talked about this yesterday, is that in breaking the midline in this bull run, what we're not only doing is we're not just breaking this midline, the midline of this channel, which is, you know, significant in terms of a trend, right? Because this channel is 3,000 plus days of price action, so it's going to have a reaction once we get here. But we're also breaking this 12-year old trend line, this parabolic trend line that Bitcoin's been in for 12 years, okay? And I talked about this yesterday. Again, if you want more in-depth about all of this analysis, go into yesterday's live stream. But once we break that, we hit that around 130K. Once we reject off that and then go, then we get closer to our targets. Once we get into this part of the channel, right, we obviously are going to attack the top of the channel, right? When you pass the midline, you attack the top of the channel. I don't know how we're going to attack it, what wave it's going to be in terms of the minute count, right? Because this is the minor count, the minute count. But it's likely that we reject here, consolidate at resistance, and then go through, okay? So instead of reject, let's be clear. I don't mean reject like we did here. This was a rejection at this resistance. This was a rejection at resistance. We're likely going to consolidate at resistance and then go through, okay? So that's what I see for Bitcoin in this bull run. And again, the periodicity, which is something, shows that you're likely to get something quick, because you just look at the angles of the moves up. Something like, let's do that again. Something like this just makes sense, graphically speaking, geometrically speaking. And we did a more thorough, more careful, precise analysis using Fibonacci time, and we saw that, okay, between 2 to 3 months from now was a likely time frame for the end of that wave, all right? So that would be an extremely fast move up. And that, last thing I'll say on this chart, don't think that that is abnormal. Why? Because, and I said this yesterday, if you look at Elliott wave theory, wave 1 goes up, right? That's the first impulse, move in an impulse. Wave 2 typically takes about as long as wave 1 took, and typically retraces to between the 0.5 and the 618 of wave 1, all right? But it can retrace anywhere from the 382 to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of wave 1. Wave 3 typically goes 161.8% or 200% the length of wave 1, and does that in less time. Okay, I'll repeat that. Wave 3 typically goes 161 to 200% of wave 1 and does it in less time. And yesterday I talked about, if you take the time measurement of wave 1 here, this is clearly a wave 1, you see it took about 399 days. You take the time measurement of wave 2, took about 421 days, which which we should expect, right? Wave 1, Wave 2. Wave 2 also came down to 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level of Wave 1. We project Wave 3 just like we would project any Wave 3 of any Elliott wave on any time frame. And so that gives us that, approximately $2 to $4 million Bitcoin. And in much less time, right? Instead of 400 days, you're looking at 60 to 90 days, right? So that's the assessment of the time and the price projection, okay? You can also see this briefly, what's the word I'm looking for? You can see this roughly, yeah, that's the word, on the total crypto market cap, okay? So total cryptocurrency market cap is the chart that basically shows you all of cryptocurrency, aggregates it all in one, and that's why you see on the price axis you're counting in terms of trillions, yeah? So if you take that chart and you take this wave 1, again, take the time, you'll see that the time it takes for this wave 1 is approximately 400 days. Time it takes for this wave 2 3-wave retracement is approximately 400 days, okay? So there's equality there, there's some comparability there. And then you can see this retracement of wave 2 happens to the expected 382 to 618 Fibonacci level of retracement of wave 1. Then you could do the same thing and project wave 3. And if you project wave 3, you can see that the crypto market is likely to 100x, right? Right now, it's at a $1.06 trillion. The 1618 for wave 3, right, which is the projection for wave 3, is at 128 trillion. So between 128 and 432 trillion. So you could say that the crypto market is likely to 128x or 432x in this next bull run. If I told you that, would that be out of the realm of possibility? A lot of people, when they look at these figures, when they see my analysis, they're like, that's bullshit. There's no fucking way. If I told you that the entire crypto market in aggregate was going to 100x, 100 to 400x, would that blow your mind? Have you been in crypto? Do you know what these altcoins do? 100 to 400x is not that big a deal. Most people's targets are way under that. And this is why the title of this live stream is, these targets are completely underwhelming, and this run is going to go much higher and much faster than a lot of people think, okay? So that's the price, right? That's the sort of price projection between the 1618 and the 2. And then the time projection, and I went over this yesterday. I'm not going to go repeat how I did this again. I already set it up in the interest of time because we're going to talk about other things today. But if you take your Fibonacci time extension tool, right? You take your wave 1, wave 2 from the orthodox low, orthodox high, orthodox low of wave 2. You can see that the time projection for wave 3 using the 618 Fibonacci time projection is about March. Okay, that's about March. So I would say March, April, May at the latest, we should get that really impulsive wave 3 up. So you see, there is some sort of the projections are corroborated by common sense, right? Because the crypto market, most assets in crypto are altcoins, right? Only Bitcoin is not the altcoin. Everything else is an altcoin. If you tell me in a bull run an altcoin does an 100x in crypto, I'm not like, oh my god, that's impossible. No. If you tell me an altcoin does a 400x, that's maybe on the high end of things, but that's possible as well, yeah? 100 to 400x, most altcoins are capable of doing. The other thing is, if you told me that this wave was going to look, again, the look is huge. If you go into Prechter and Frost, right, the wave principle, 11th edition, they talk about the right look. If I showed you a wave, if you're an Elliotician, you know, if I showed you a wave progression that looked something like this, and like that, Would you think that was out of the ordinary? Would you think that was crazy? Would you think that was, weird? Does that look right? Yeah, no, of course. That looks like a wave 3, you would say. That looks like a wave 4, and that looks like a wave 5. That looks like a run-of-the-mill Elliott wave progression where you have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? If you look at enough of these, that looks the part, okay? So that's another thing when you want to do good analysis, you got to use your common sense, right? Does that seem plausible, right? Does that make sense? Does it look right, right? So you want to ask yourself that question. But I understand for the novice market speculator, analyst, people who don't have a lot of experience in doing proper analysis, especially on a high time frame, for them to conceive of Bitcoin at $1 million breaks their brain. So I actually heard one analyst this morning on their live stream from, or it wasn't a live stream, it's an update. They were in the Maldives, crypto people, they got money. They were in the Maldives vacationing and said, oh, Bitcoin update. Guys, we're not in a bull market. This is a bear market rally, okay? And there's no way we're getting above 35K, okay? Because for them, there are two things happening. One, it's hard for them to conceive of the price being so high so fast, okay? A lot of people say, you can't just switch into a bull market, right? It doesn't feel like the bear market lasted long enough. For some reason, people are using feelings, right? They're talking about technical analysis and then they're talking about sentiment. When the same people will tell you, check your feelings at the door, don't get overly emotional, do your analysis, all that stuff, right? And the second thing is, a lot of people, the only way they have some high time frame map of the market, high time frame perspective, is by using the 4-year cycle. And we talked about this during the live stream yesterday. The 4-year cycle is useful in certain ways, right? It can give you a rough idea as to where we're at and what we're doing and what we're likely to do. The issue with the 4-year cycle is, if you only know that in March, April, May of 2024, we're likely to bottom and go, the halving is likely to occur, so that's likely to represent a bottom in the market, and you don't know anything else, you will assume, as most crypto YouTubers, most analysts and experts are doing, you will assume that we're going to hang out and bottom and then go. So you're basically assuming that we have about a year left of sideways, insignificant price action, not making a higher high most likely, before we actually start getting bullish. This is what you should understand if you're seeing a lot of your favorite YouTubers talk about how it's not possible and they can't really conceive of us being in a bull market yet. It's because of the halving, which is consistent, and there is validity to that model. But the issue is, in order to do good analysis on a high time frame, you need a little more. You need to be a little more precise. You're not seeing the entire picture. And like I said, between now and the next halving, it's likely that we not only complete a bull market, but also a bear market. And that, for most people, is completely inconceivable, because that's saying that in the span of 400 to 500 days, we complete a bull and a bear market, where the last bear market lasted 600 days, all in all. But that's the beauty of the wave principle. It allows you to see that wave 1 can take 600 days. Wave 1 can take 400 days. Wave 2 can take 400 days. That doesn't mean wave 3 is going to take 400 days. Does that make sense? So, all right. That is a quick recap of yesterday's live stream and why most people are going to miss this run, and it's going to go a lot higher and a lot faster than they think. Now let's get into the actual small time frame price action. All right, what happened yesterday? And again, a lot of people are celebrating. They're on Twitter. Crypto Twitter's fun, by the way. It's all jokes. Don't take things too seriously. Some people say things that are ridiculous just to troll and to get a rise out of other people, right? But there are some serious analysts there who do their best to analyze the market. There's a bit of everything. But there are some people who are saying, oh my god, look at that dump. We're going to zero. I told you so. And as you can see very clearly, the only thing that happened was completely healthy, bullish retest, right? This is a level, right? Clearly, because price action has proven it to be, right? There's a lot of activity here on this time frame, on the 4-hourly time frame. So when we come up and melt through that, what happens? We're going to have to retest it to conquer it, to make it support, okay? So old resistance is made into new support. This doesn't just work on the high time frames. In the recent past, I've been showing this on the higher time frames and weekly on the daily. This also works on the 4-hourly, on any time frame. It's time frame agnostic. This is a principle of technical analysis. Very few things are known for sure in technical analysis. One of them is the fact that significant resistance broken has to be made into support, and significant support broken has to be made into resistance. We'll see that in a second with the DXY. But that happened, and this is significant. What counts as significant? On the 4-hourly time frame, look at all of these candles. That's significant. So on this time frame, if we went through all of this, we would have to come down, okay? And how did we come down? We came down correctively. 1, 2, 3 waves. Boom. That's beautiful. That's expected. That's healthy, right? So that's all you get. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, likely, okay? And then a continuation. Okay, I'm not exactly sure if it's 5 waves, but it's very likely. 5 waves up, 3 waves down. The time it took to go up, let's see. The time it took to go up was 1 day and 12 hours. The time it took to come down was 1 day. So it's approximate. It's approximate. Okay? So it may very well have been a wave 1, wave 2 situation. The retracements between the 382 and the 618, I can just eyeball that and confirm. Okay? The 4-hourly momentum indicators completely bottomed out. We're good to go for continuation. If you've been following let's just zoom out. Let's zoom out. As you can see, if you zoom out on the daily time frame, you can see very easily the levels that there's pretty much nothing until this level. Let's zoom out even more. Okay, so Bitcoin is at a place where now you've retested this level of 24K, 23K, whatever it was, and now there's a volume desert between where you're at now and this level right here, the next blue rectangle representing support and resistance. Okay, so wouldn't expect Bitcoin to find any kind of resistance until the 30K level. But go back to the smaller time frame. What did you see here? Actually, 4-hourly time frame. So what did you see here? Quite simply, okay, a lot of people like to complicate things, and this indicator, that indicator, this and that and the third. Good analysis can be simply explained simply rather. You can corroborate it with all the indicators in the world, but you should be able to express it and articulate it quite simply with, the candlestick analysis. And as we said, it's a retest of support. And now, what happened here? People think every time you hit staunch resistance, you're going to hit your head against it, consolidate, then move up. No, when you're really bullish or you're really bearish, you go through and you retest, okay? So if I'm really bullish, instead of going up at resistance, consolidating at resistance, probably rejecting, trying again, rejecting, and then finally going through, I'm going to go right through and then revisit it and see you later, okay? So let's use that same concept, that same idea, and apply it to the higher time frame. So let's go on the daily, and now let's look at what's likely to happen once you get up here. A lot of people who don't understand this who are trading this rally on too short of a time frame. Like, they're trading it wrong. They're pretty much, they're shorting themselves by they don't have conviction in the high time frame analysis, so they're just trading level by level by level by level. Okay? Issue with that is what's going to happen here, more than likely than not, is the same thing that happened here. Okay? You're going to come up and through, then come back down and retest. And the other thing about that is this: there is no telling how fast that retest will be. So let's say this is a level, okay? Price has shown us on the daily time frame, okay? Let's zoom out. On the daily time frame with Bitcoin, price has shown us that this is a significant level. The 31K level, around 31 and 30K. Something is going to happen here. 98%, 99% probability. Okay, nothing's 100%. Highly likely we deal in probabilities. That's how we trade. That's how we speculate on the market. That's how we make our money. That's how we gain our edge. Okay? That being said, knowing that, you want to know, how is price going to react to that level? Is it going to reject off of it? If we've established a bullish trend by retesting a 460 whatever day resistance into support and launching up from there, I would say we're pretty bullish, because we've spent 460 some odd days consolidating. Under this resistance, and then 234 days consolidating. Okay? That's the cause. This is the effect. So we have a lot of verve. We have a lot of strength. We have a lot of there's a lot of demand for the asset, so the asset is going to mark up considerably. If that's the case, it's very likely we go substantially higher, and in that higher time frame, we see that our targets are all the way in the millions for the end of the entire movement. We should then extrapolate that the smaller waves are probably going to be violent, okay? And it's possible, we don't know, but it's possible that we come through here, do this, and go in an hour or two. Who knows? We have no clue. You're going to see a reaction here, but that reaction may take all of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, who knows? That's why when you play these levels, don't assume that you're going to have time to hang out, get in your trade, take your profit, get back in another trade. No, the smart investor, analyst, speculator, trader doesn't fuck around against these types of moves, because this is about as bullish as they come. And this is the type of bullishness that breaks exchanges, where the exchange has no more liquidity. You want to get along? You can't. There's no more liquidity. There's nothing to buy on spot. The servers are down because everybody's trying to get on. Everybody's trying to buy, right? And the price is going so fast, TradingView doesn't even show you the updated price, and you get that yellow exclamation mark. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why you accumulate here. The really savvy play is to accumulate, buy and go away. They say that, buy in May and go away. The idea is similar, right? You buy and you fuck off, because you don't want to mess up your money by trying to nickel and dime, little bit, this little move here, this little move there. Your high time frame analysis informs your trading strategy. And even though we haven't had it yet, trust me, it's coming. Why? Look at this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get a little more real estate. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you're all doing well. If we haven't gotten any volatile, violent moves up, it's only because we've been stuck in this area where, if you look, there's a lot of price action, a lot of trading being done over here, okay? So anything that's happening in this region is by definition going to be slow, by definition going to be methodical, by definition going to be, it's like moving in molasses. It's there's going to be some resistance, yeah? But when we clear this level, be very careful. I guarantee you they're not going to have time to buy and sell, because these candles are going to, you guys who have never been in a bull market, an actual bull market, when I say violent, I mean violent. I mean $1,000 candles up and down. So when you're saying this is a level, yes, it may very well be a level. Yes, you may very well get a consolidation there. But who's to say how long it's going to last? And it's likely, just based off of our high time frame analysis, always, that informs our small time frame analysis. It informs if we're trading ranges. It informs us if we're bullishly biased. If it informs us if we're bearishly biased. It informs us of everything. The high time frame analysis is your map for everything you do in life. It's always nice to have a map, a bird's eye view, yeah? To know more or less, oh, okay, I'm here. You don't always know exactly how it's going to happen, but you know more or less, okay, that's where I'm at, that's where I'm going, this is my goal, this is my strategy. You got a plan. People talk about plans, yet they don't leave the 5-minute chart. How can you plan without zooming out, yeah? Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Zoom out, formulate an intelligent high time frame plan, and inform your small time frame moves, whether your entries or your exits or your trading strategies, if you're going to scalp or if you're not, if you're going to swing. Use that to inform all of that stuff, because it's coming. I guarantee you it's coming. And then there's no use for me to say, hey, it happened, you assholes got wrecked, or you guys didn't get in, or, you know, all these people got liquidated. I don't laugh about people getting liquidated. I used to get liquidated. It sucks. You know, I don't appreciate, I feel like people who laugh at other people getting liquidated are sad, you know, misery loves company. I'm too happy. I want everybody to win. I know it's a zero-sum game. That's probably not possible, but yo, if you're here and you're watching my content, and even if you're not, you know, hopefully, even if you don't win, hopefully you don't lose. But that's basically, from experience, what I'm saying. You do not want to play against these bullish moves, right? Nor do you want to play with a really bearish move, right? You can see it in the market. You don't have to take my word for it. This was the most heinous double zigzag. I got smoked thinking that this was support. I got smoked, right? And I learned so much. I lost a little bit, but I learned so much trying to go against the trend, not recognizing the larger trend for what it was. Look at this. Look at that price action. And it seemingly never ended. It was like day after day after day of down, 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 down. It's like you got to retrace that. So I remember literally talking to the market and saying, you're an asshole. I hate you. Why don't you retrace? You have to retrace. There's a rule. You can't just go up or down in a straight line. You're literally going down in a straight line. Literally going down in a straight line. I remember these. I have visceral memories of these moves. Okay? Although it happened to the downside. This was corrective. This is impulsive. This was a counter trend. Whatever you think, however impulsive, however dynamic and violent you thought this is going to be even more so. People just don't know. If you study charts, you understand that people who say the bulls take the stairs and bears take the elevator, bulls take the stairs, know nothing about markets. that you're basically showing I've only been paying attention while I've been in a bear market. You're essentially saying that, right? Because a trend is a trend is a trend, and a counter trend is a counter trend is a counter trend. On the high time frame, that's the trend. On the lower time frame, this is a counter trend. So if you've only been around for the past 2 years, yes, you think the bears take the elevator and the bulls take the stairs, because that's exactly what you experience in a counter trend. The general trend is down, and so the general trend is the elevator. The counter trend, which is this bear market rally rather, is the stairs. But if you were here long enough to experience 2020, you understand what bulls taking the elevator means. So again, guys, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Don't take anybody's word for it. Your strength, your power, your earning potential, I believe, is highly correlated to your level of education of markets, not of the crypto market, because if you understand markets, you understand markets. And you can apply them. You can apply that knowledge to a variety of markets, yeah? Stay humble, keep learning, make some mistakes, but you will know exactly what I'm saying to be accurate, okay? So yeah, that's essentially my take. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to be too clever. What you're going to see here is going to shock a lot of people, and it's going to go a lot faster and a lot higher than you think, okay? I don't know how else to say that, but that's, what was said was said. All right. Cliff BTC, what's up, man? How are you? All right, so let's get in. Let's do some altcoin analysis on the smaller time frames. Let's go on the 4-hourly. Okay. So 4-hourly time frame. Do I want a 4-hourly? Sure. Wait, no. Let's do daily. Yeah, daily. Okay. Before we do this, I want to show you something. Remember what we were saying about the US dollar currency index, okay? A lot of people were telling you the DXY, Bitcoin's decoupled. Okay, there's so many trash narratives in the cryptocurrency space, right? People saying Bitcoin is no longer correlated to stocks. Okay, understand, and if you are subscribed to the channel, you'll know. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are not correlated to stocks. They're correlated to the DXY. Everything's correlated to the DXY. The US dollar is the underlying asset for crypto, for stocks. Every one of these risk-on assets are purchased using the dollar. So by definition, the dollar's what moves everything. And the dollar goes up and down, and both are correlated to the dollar. So it seems to the average uninitiated kind of not so savvy analyst that Bitcoin is correlated to stocks. You can get away with that, but only for so long. And why? Because you can see, I'm going to see, is Bitcoin going to pump? Let me check the SPX. Let's wait for the SPX. That's good, but it'll hurt you. It'll get you eventually. That sloppy kind of analysis will get you eventually. And when will it get you? In this type of market environment, let's just show this really quickly, where the SPX on a high time frame, if you're subscribed, you'll know exactly what I'm trying to say. The SPX on a high time frame is in a bear market rally, okay? The strong trend is down. What you're experiencing intermittently, and you will experience for the next few months at most, is a move up, okay? A slow move up to these levels, and you're going to retest this high time frame resistance, right? If you look at the SPX, you have this resistance that's been in since 2010, okay? So you have about a 12-year resistance to the upside. And it's funny because remember, look at Bitcoin. That has to be reflected parabolically. There's a parabola that actually serves the same purpose, showing you all the tops since 2010 that Bitcoin's done. It literally has to be connected using a parabola. In the S&P 500, you can use a simple straight arithmetic line. This is again why your average traditional stock trader who comes into crypto doesn't know how to set up their charts properly. They set up their charts like this because they've gotten away with it in traditional markets, because traditional markets don't move parabolically like traditional markets don't move parabolically like crypto markets do. So they get into crypto, they think they can get away with the same thing, but they can't. Okay, anyway, you'll see that because it's in a bear market rally, it'll go up, but it's capped. It's quite literally capped. There's no, people say, nobody knows. You don't have to, why do we do this? We don't do this because we're guessing. We don't guess with 5-6 figures of capital or hard-earned money. No. We study our asses off. We learn a trade. We study from people who have lived 100 years before us. Gann and Elliot, and we look at history and see, okay, the market has repeatedly done this, and if this, then that. The market has repeatedly shown, the markets, rather, have repeatedly shown these patterns. So, the high degree of probability, if it does this again, we can expect this. So, we know, high degree of probability, if you have a significant resistance or support level, right, that has a lot of history, has a lot of, data points, you're going to get that. There's no way, given this chart, I can tell you already, almost like I'm a witch or something, a wizard, that this market is not getting above much higher than this area right here, whatever it is, yeah? Because this trend line tells us that. So you can expect a strong rejection in the market at that point, okay? That's the definition of a bear market rally. It's capped, and you can already tell where the high is going to be. It can come lower, but it's likely to come and revisit that resistance, yeah? So the stock markets are going to go up, but bearishly. And maybe those people who are telling you there is no way crypto is going in a bull market because they're reading the stock markets and they're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. They're seeing that it's in a bear market rally. Their indicators are telling them as much. And they've been in the habit, the sloppy habit of thinking that the S&P and NASDAQ and traditional markets run crypto. They are basically the movers of the cryptocurrency market. It doesn't even make any sense, right? If you really sit and think about it, but very few people think critically, clearly, right? So many people parrot it. The stock markets do not run the cryptocurrency market, and there's nothing to decouple. Bitcoin said, or BitBoy this morning said, see, crypto is decoupling very clearly from the stock markets now. There's nothing to decouple, BitBoy, because they're never correlated in that way. There's some correlation, but not in the way you think. No direct correlation. They're only correlated insofar as they're both correlated to the US dollar. Yeah. So, we look at the US dollar, and what do we see? You can see that the US dollar just hit exactly where again, we're not wizards. I'm not a magician. I'm not getting on here every day and pulling shit out of my ass and saying, I want to see this and I want to see that and, let's go. No, this is analysis, and it's based off of, in this case, basic support and resistance. My son could do this. He's a first grader. You draw a line where you see a pattern. That's it, right? As long as your chart is properly set up, you can do this. No crazy Gann analysis, Elliott wave analysis necessary. I literally drew lines on a chart, but not just any lines. I connected lines that were relevant on that time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data points on this almost 600-day trend line. So you have a 600-day trend line on the daily time frame. What do you think is going to happen? Obviously, you're going to get rejection. Now, How did we know price was going to come, or the DXY was going to come all the way to this level, and we weren't worried about it? Because your amateur analyst saw the DXY pumping for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 days and thought, yeah, I know the DXY is inversely correlated to risk on assets, Bitcoin, crypto. I'm going to tell them. They don't know. You're not going anywhere. It's dumping. But again, sloppy analysis, because the actual correlation is on a high time frame. So within the month, you can have Bitcoin and the DXY both going up or both going down. But in the aggregate, you will see continually what you've seen in the past, for the past 10 years, since 2010 or 2013. I forget how long the correlation, the chart is. I think I set it up from 2014 because that's where, as far back as the data showed. In any case, that isn't broken, and it's not going to break anytime soon. The DXY is inversely correlated to Bitcoin, not because somebody said it was, but because you use dollars to buy Bitcoin. That's as simple as it gets. Again, all of these concepts, you don't have to have a PhD in economics to figure out. It's common fucking sense. But people, please do your own research and use common sense. Think, when you hear something from somebody, it doesn't matter if they have a PhD in economics or they have 50 million people watching their live streams. Think about it. Does it make sense? And then act. That's the era we're in right now. This is the point of cryptocurrency. You gotta think for yourselves. Alright? Get ideas from people, watch people's streams, no problem. But at the end of the day, before you press that buy button, before you press that sell button, think. Before somebody tells you it's going to zero or going to the moon, think. Does this make sense? Alright, if it does, then break it down, right? Be your own investment what do they call it? Investment advisor. You have to. All right. So we knew it was going to come back up here because, like I always say, there are a few things in technical analysis that we know for fuck sure. And one of those is when you lose important support or important resistance is broken, you have to retest it before you move on. So ever since January 9th, we knew that this was coming back up. Sometime it was bound to come back up, because on January 9th we finally broke this almost 600-day support level for the DXY. It broke, it consolidated, it moved back up and touched it, and now it's done. Okay, you may see on the smaller time frames, I don't know exactly how this rejection is going to take place, but essentially you're done. You basically just put in a bullish or a bearish confirmation, a bearish rejection. You lost critical support, crucial support. You retested it as resistance. You just confirmed that you're going to hell. That's how you read markets. It's not complicated. If anybody's selling you the fact that only they know the answer, you can only read this with this indicator 5,000. Buy my indicator. You have to understand that that's charlatanism. Nothing wrong with indicators. They help. They can help. They can be helpful. They can confirm and corroborate. But you should get in the habit of looking at the story, the simple, elegant story that price action is showing you. Knowing that the DXY, I always say this, people are like, why are you bullish? Why are you so bullish? Because we've been looking at the DXY puke since September, and I recognized a high time frame downtrend. So it wasn't, to me, if we're going to go into a bull market. It was a question of when. Yeah, literally, you can see on a chart, I mean, up is and down is down, that it's going down, and it's been going down, and it's not stopping anytime soon. The only way it can stop is we understand that a trend has to consolidate and accumulate before it changes direction. Until we get that, it's going to continue to go down. The trend is your friend until the end. Also, our stochastic RSI indicator on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame, on the high time frames have all been telling us the same thing. Okay, so do expect for this to continue down. On the smaller time frames, you may get a flat correction. A flat correction like this, or it may be a zigzag correction like this. It doesn't matter on the small time frames. just know that you're rejecting, and that's it. Whoops. And that, whoops. Yeah, that's right. That's it. That's the DXY. That further confirms, further corroborates, further gives us confidence that we're going to hell with the dollar. And if the dollar continues to lose relative value, then guess what is going to gain relative value? So many amateur analysts are hawking. They're wasting time looking at on-chain, seeing what this big whale is going to do, when they're going to make their buys, and that's how they trade. Understand this very simple fact. If you use US dollars to buy Bitcoin and any other risk-on asset, you can replace Bitcoin with any risk-on asset, okay? You don't have to be Alan Greenspan to technical analysis, sound technical analysis gives you. It takes you out of the position of being the victim, being the little guy, and understanding. That understanding empowers you to now manipulate, not manipulate, but work the markets in a way that favors your pockets. So anyway, you're getting a big move likely in Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrency assets because that dollar is now going to start or resume its downtrend, okay? Because it's been in a downtrend since September. Okay, here we go. It's going to resume that downtrend now with this move. And that's likely to be really, really violent because, again, the whole time, even in September, even though you were going down, what happened? You've been kind of above support, and that 600-day support. Now, all of a sudden, you've lost that 600-day support, and now that's when you get the big move. Does that make sense? And this is likely going to be the big impulse that takes you down to this support level. All support and resistance. No, I mean, yeah, you could see a bunch of Elliott waves up on here, but, you know, you don't need, you know, deep dive Elliott wave or GAN to trade markets competently. You just need to master support and resistance. I always say this on the channel. My mentor, one of my mentors, Jack Schwager, the author for the Market Wizards books, he basically goes around, one of his passions is interviewing market wizards, basically anybody who has 10 plus years of a winning track record, right? And basically these are traditional market traders, right? Because crypto hasn't been around for that long. People haven't been trading it for that long. So that's one of the criteria, basically. They have to prove a positive P&L for 10 plus years. And, you know, in all of his books, you'll see he's interviewed position traders, scalp traders, swing traders, people who only trade long, people who only trade short, people who trade both long and short, people who are prop traders, people who trade, you know, privately, people who trade for big firms, people who are world renowned. And one thing they all have in common, they all have a decent understanding, even mastery, of support and resistance. When I learned that, I was like, I gotta stop fucking around with support and resistance. I'm respecting support and resistance. I'm gonna learn how to do support and resistance the best of my ability. So do not scoff at support and resistance. Yeah, it's not as fancy as all these Elliott waves, and maybe it won't give you all these time projections and all that stuff, price projections, but support and resistance, you can make a lot of money and do really well and be really consistent by being a sound support and resistance trader, having a sound understanding of support and resistance. Anyway, let's look at some comments. I see some comments in there. Let's see. Cliff BTC says, incredible value for those who trade only Bitcoin. Thanks for devoting a majority of your time on Bitcoin TA. Yeah, my pleasure. Richard says, smile, smile, the fib time zone is near. Awesome. Something is up with the chat. It says it's disconnected. Let's see. Let's see. Testing. I think the chat... Something's up with my chat. Apologies if you can't send a chat. Something is up with my chat. It says it's disconnected. Okay. In any case, let's continue on. So let's do this on the high time frame. And the high time frame, right, we did the Bitcoin analysis, we did the DXY analysis. All of these altcoins are essentially going to be a flavor of that type of analysis. You're basically going to see altcoins at a major resistance level major point of breakout. Not major resistance level, because they were at resistance over here, retested, broken, they consolidated a bit, and now you're going to see them break this major resistance level. Okay, so basically everything is on the verge of a massive breakout. It's also corroborating what we're seeing with the DXY being on the verge of a massive breakdown. So that you can see Cardano is clearly, it broke this 600-day resistance, retested it as support in some way, shape, or form, right? Retested this resistance as support, now retested this resistance right here. You can see that. That's a significant level. We're going to have to put a line in just because these rectangles can only go straight. Something like this. Okay, imagine this level. That was the retest. You can see how price reacted to it over time. But that's essentially what you got here. See, a lot of these things are super bullish, right? A lot of times we think when we're trading these breakout triangles, you have the price, you want to go up, come back down, and come all the way back to that falling the hypotenuse of the triangle, but you don't always have to. Like in this case here, you can see this was a very strong level right here, and that was sufficient to represent a retest of this 600-day resistance as support. So that's what I'm seeing with Cardano. Do expect a big breakout here, right? Big breakout. Okay. Here, our favorite shitcoin, Bonk. What did we do? Last we spoke, we came up to this midline. And what is the midline? A midline's always resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it. You come to the midline, you reject from it, okay? And it was a proper rejection, a three-wave rejection. But now you consolidate. You're going to try again, retest it as support, vanquish it, come up, retest the entire channel trading consolidation level as support, and then you're off to the races. But it's going to work its way through this channel before really making headlines, and it will make headlines. This is going to be, I believe, one of the big stories of this bull market, because it's new on it's like the only meme coin on the Solana blockchain, and it's already kind of popular, and it was launched very well, and the team is serious, and the idea is, I think it's going to do really well in any case. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, technically speaking. Okay, Dent, you can see you've already been playing with, again, another retest. As you can see, you broke this area. All that you've done in the past few days, the past couple months, or past month, you've broken major resistance, right? When I talk about major resistance, I'm talking about these 300 to 500, sometimes 600-day resistances, represented by these falling diagonal resistances, yeah? You retest it as support, and then you're basically breaking out of that. That retest of support, again, just like Cardano, you don't have to come down all the way back down to the level of the line, because there may sometimes be some sort of level that the price has created as strong support historically, that is sufficient, that allows you to kind of front run that retest. So that's what you're seeing here, and that is the big breakout. You're pretty much getting in a lot of these altcoins, a breakout of 500-day, 600-day consolidations. Just imagine the type of moves, the magnitude of these moves. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of people don't understand what is happening right now. Like, when they're saying we're not in a bull market or we're not yet in a bull market, it really shows and underlines they can't read. Okay? This is the problem with not being able to read charts. Chart literacy is huge, 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 huge. Okay? And I'm sorry, but if you haven't bothered zooming out on the daily time frame and having a look at what's going on, you can't read, right? Just because you can read see spot run doesn't mean you can read, right? You only say you can read once, anything that's brought to you, you can read, right? If you read music, if you can sight read, you can read. Can you read music? Yeah, but how fluent are you? How well can you read, right? There are levels. You want to be really fluent reading these charts. And I'm not talking about anything crazy. I'm not talking about anything, super technical. I'm just talking about basic support and resistance. For people to say, one, they're not sure if we're in a bull market. Two, they think we're going to go lower. It means they can't read. Because none of this is probably the most bullish I've ever seen anything in crypto ever. And I've been in crypto since 2017. I've never seen anything this bullish. Not even close. You have these 300-day consolidations that are nothing because this larger resistance represents like 600 days of resistance broken. So you broke that to the upside, you retested basically this level as support, and this is the representative retest of that. So this is basically what I'm seeing. You're getting breakouts of that. This is really clear in Dogecoin. Look at this. Dogecoin, this is your, 2 to 300 day bear market accumulation. You kind of play on this, right? You do this move, which is a corrective move, but in so doing, you basically retest this higher time frame resistance as support. You break it, retest it as support, as you can see right here, right? Now, you work on this top, this bear market accumulation chop. So that's all you've done in the past month. You basically have broken the bear market accumulation for a lot of these, retested them as support, and now you're going to break out of all of it. The 600-day downtrend and the 2 to 300-day bear market accumulation. This is why, who said something? So on Twitter, Bill Noble, he's really, he's a serious analyst. Let's say that. He's a serious analyst. He posted a really good tweet. He goes, "This is the time where you just buy, and if you get a dip, you buy more. And then if you get another dip, you buy more and hold. And you continue to do so until, I forget, I can't really, but basically he's saying, buy, and if you see dips, you buy. That's how bullish we are. You don't mess around in this type of market. And it's unambiguously bullish, right? It's kind of like, looking outside and you see the sun, and some people are like, I think it's nighttime. Maybe if you're in Alaska, maybe that's not a good example. But all I'm saying is we're unambiguously bullish, not just on the small time frame, on the high time frames. If people aren't afraid, if people are still hedging and not sure how to read it, it says more about their ability to read the markets, but not what the actual market is doing. And CryptoFace, who a few days back was saying, I've tried to tell everybody, we're going to go down. That's actually a marks of a good trader. You read the market and you're wrong, and you don't hold on. Your ego is not too big to say you are wrong, and you just flip your bias because you see more information. You're like, oh. CryptoFace wrote a tweet a couple days ago or yesterday, I don't know when it was. He said, if you want to be rich, buy poo coins now. That's exactly it. And that is financial advice. It should be fine. If you want to be rich, you buy now. Okay? Here you see on Ethereum. Look at this, guys. Look at this. How much more bullish can you be? All of this, that represents the entire bear market accumulation from June until present day. You did that accumulation, 2 degrees of AB basing and a pivot, your Wyckoff accumulation, whatever you want to call it. You absorbed all of that supply dumped on the market from whatever Ethereum was, 5,000 all the way down to 800. You absorbed it. You broke up and out of this massive downtrend, and you broke up and out of this 250-day accumulation channel. You retested it as support. That's the key, right? You always have to retest major resistance as support, right? And on that retest, you not only retested the top of this accumulation channel, but also this downtrend. What do you think comes next? Again, if you know how to read markets, zoom out. You see, this is the cause, that's the effect. Simple. It's very simple. Don't be surprised that you get, I don't know. Like my projection for Ethereum on the high time frame for this cycle is about $500,000. Okay? How we're going to get there, how much we're going to pump in a day, I don't know. And I don't care, nor should you. Don't try to intraday trade this move. You're going to lose money. There's a time for accumulation. There's a time to expose yourself to this market. And there's a time at which you can no longer do that because these moves are going to be too violent to do so. Especially on leverage. My leverage people, my leverage brethren and sistren. To get into leverage, you have to be pinpoint accurate, especially high leverage, right? You got to snipe those entries. And you got to make sure price doesn't go past a certain amount or you get liquidated, you get stopped out. You won't be able to do that with all this volatility coming, I guarantee you, right? Up until now, if you've been able to do it, it's only because we've been stuck in this range of previous price action that creates some slow moving kind of price action. People are lulled to sleep, I guarantee you. People are being lulled to sleep by this. They think that this is going to continue. It's not going to continue. The character of this is not what you're getting here. Even what you're getting here, you think this is something that's nothing compared to what's coming. And you're literally about to break out. You're hours away from breaking out. Like I said in the title, it's going to be much higher, much faster than a lot of people realize. But again, I've been there. I've seen that. I've been on the other side of this. This is why I'm saying this in this way. I've literally felt the FOMO and I felt the disappointment of not being adequately prepared, adequately exposed to the market when things start running. I was losing money because I wasn't taking advantage of what was happening. All these, this is going and that's going. This runs 50%, that's run 80%. And I'm exposed to maybe one or two things. And then I'm trading in and out. I got no strategy. It's a mess. Okay? But, praise be to existence and the creator. I've got another chance. And, I'm going to do it right this time. Litecoin, same thing. Let's see. Check time. We got a little time left. Damn, I'm so, I'm sorry the chat is broken. Test. It's annoying. Let me try to exit and open it up again. Okay. The chat is back. The chat is back. I think. Yes, it is. The chat is back. All right. I don't know what happened there, but anyway. So back to our analysis. Okay, looking at Bitcoin, we're already at 24.5. Again, look at these levels. These levels that you hear crypto YouTubers talking about, right? Obviously, we all need material every day. I don't really think like that because this channel is not monetized. I just come on and talk about what I feel like talking about, what I'm thinking about. I don't care if I have nothing to talk about. I have nothing to talk about. I just so happen to have shit to talk about, so I talk. But don't get it twisted. Don't be misled. It has nothing to do with next level 25, next level 30K. We saw the high time frame analysis. You see, if you understand what I'm trying to say on the high time frames, you know that 30K is not what your focus should be on. 40K, 50K should not be what your focus should be on. You have to think bigger. Whatever you're thinking, think bigger. Okay? Litecoin, same thing right here. You have this very nice inverse head and shoulders, right? Breakout, retest, boom. Okay? This is it. This is it. This is absolutely it. RSR, reserve rights. This was a little hard to count, a little hard to read, not gonna lie. But this last part I can read. But this gave me problems. And I did make some entries, try to make some entries on this earlier in the bear market, earlier in, towards the end of last year. And I got smoked. I just didn't read that right. Anyway, I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulders here. Okay, and I'm seeing a neckline there. I'm seeing a breakout, retest happened, a move up. You know, we're going up. Any resistance levels to the upside should be regarded as brief stopping points, brief pit stops at the most, at the absolute most. Don't expect for price to give you too much time hanging out on one level, right? It's gonna probably, right in this instance, if you see something like this on the daily time frame, look at all this. Very likely that we come back here, we're gonna do something here. But don't assume that you know that this is gonna take X amount of time, Y amount of time, because the magnitude of the waves for the targets that need to be hit on this minor wave 3 for Bitcoin, right? On this wave are so high within, like, what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that the consolidation may not be as important as you think, okay? Ergo, it might not take as long as you think to put that consolidation in, okay? For those of you, again, who have not been in a proper bull market, an impulsive bull market, sometimes those consolidations happen like this. Literally, in that, as fast as I drew that, it goes up, up, and then keeps going. It just pumps. It pumps so hard, TradingView breaks. Watch. I'm not kidding. Coinbase is going down. KuCoin's going down. Phemex, it's all going down. Unless they've remade their servers, it's going to go down. Don't be surprised if you can't get on your exchange, you can't sell, you can't fix your position, you can't do this, that, and the third. These exchanges will break. That's another thing I tried. I studied about and I prepared for, and it was a guy from Coin Bureau. He gave a really good tutorial about trading bull markets and how you need to have assets on different exchanges and different recourses to defer to, because you should expect things to go down in impulse in these bull markets. What are you seeing here in Shiba Inu? Some sort of inverse head and shoulders, some sort of W pattern, maybe is probably better. One like this, neckline. You broke, retested, you're gone. At this point, you should be on the daily time frame, at least. If you're anywhere under the daily time frame, you're doing it wrong right now. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be on the smaller time frames to snipe an entry. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to analyze the market, because it's going to move so fast. When you're stuck on your small time frames, it's not going to make any sense to you. It's just going to look like a blur. It's just going to be a bunch of green candles. I promise. Watch. It's, again, just like I say, I'm not a wizard. I'm not a magician. I'm not making this up. You don't have to wait until it starts pouring and you get soaked before you know it's highly likely to rain. Right now, if the bull market is a storm, I see the clouds. The air is thick. I hear thunder. I see lightning. It's coming. It's right here. We're literally about to pour. It's about to pour. Okay? Same thing with synthetics. You see this? I would say this is more breakout, retest of this midline, breakout. Look at this. This is so nice. This is so nice. It's all so nice and beautiful. Tron, look at that. 600 days of resistance, that is. That hypotenuse. 600 days of resistance. Breakout, retest, leading diagonal, retest, breakout. It's beautiful. We've waited hundreds of days for this. Hundreds of days. If you just so happen to be the lucky one who just got into crypto, just so happen to allocate positions, congratulations. Enjoy. Hopefully, towards the end of the bull market, you're able to take profit. Same thing here. You just broke and retested major resistance as support on XRP. Your next move is to come to the top of this channel, retest it, and go. Again, don't assume that this breakout and retest is going to take a long time. It doesn't have to. It just has to put in the move, right? That move can happen in no time. Look at this. Look at this. Zilliqa. Breakout of this 500 to 600 day downtrend, right? Retest, and basically a series of corrective waves that's consolidative and bullish at the same time. You're going to break out from this very violently. Congratulations to my friends watching. You're all my friends. Congratulations to you if you're exposed. I hope you do some great things with your newfound wealth. That's all I'll say. Look at this. V-chain's already starting. It's already starting. Breaking out. Coming up here is going to retest that and then continue to go. Okay. If anybody's telling you, I don't want to get I don't want to get, what do people like to say? People always like to cover their asses in this space. I don't want to get overly excited. I'm not saying that this can happen, but what if? You know? I'm not saying that, I don't want to be too bullish. Like it's something irresponsible. It's actually irresponsible to see almost, unimpeachable bullishness and say otherwise, right? People coming out of a bear market say they don't want to be bullish because they don't know how to read and they want to cover their asses. You want to be as bullish as you've ever been, if you ever dreamed of being, right here and now. Literally at this moment, this day, this hour. Because you can get bullish, but again, you're going to have trouble entering the market up here. I guarantee you. And this is going to go on for 30 to 60 days based off of our high time frame projections. Breaking high time frame, look, you break this this midline, you retest it as support, you come up, you retest it as support, you're gone. Telcoin, beautiful. Beautiful. And this is one I like to show. It really is the paragon of a high time frame breakout, right? This coin, if you've been in Telcoin, you've been in hell for 600 days. 600 days, you've seen the value of your investments go down and down and down and down and down in this channel, right? What do you think happens next? There's a cause and effect to everything in the universe, okay? Nothing goes up forever. Nothing goes down forever. Everything happens in cycles. If you go down for 644 consecutive days, well, maybe not consecutive, but you go down for a period of 644 days, what do you think you're going to do after that? In this type of pattern specifically, yeah? Specifically in this pattern, anybody who reads knows when you have a bullish impulse, and then a retracement like this, a falling wedge or a falling channel, I mean, that is automatic, violent breakout. This is what you trade on small time frames on any asset when you're pattern trading, right? This is a bull flag, a type of bull flag, yeah? This is exactly what you see if you break, if you zoom out. Look at this. It's already started. on Matic. It started, but it's not yet violent. Wait until you pass all of this right here. Okay? You're going to matriculate, steadily, but I think responsibly and calmly through this area. Wait until Matic gets above $2.80. And that's going to happen soon. It can happen today. It can happen tomorrow. Some people, I watch a lot of different analysts just to get an idea of what everybody's thinking. And sometimes even what I would consider poor analysts have ideas I haven't thought of. So I watch other people, okay? And this person said, yeah, we're looking bullish, but I think we're just going to go sideways for the weekend. Doesn't look like we're going to do much else. It's probably going to be a boring weekend. Literally the opposite. That just tells you, and I mean, these people sell courses. These people, have, white label trading indicators. Guys, do your own research. It doesn't matter how big the following is on YouTube, on Twitter, how many people consider them quote unquote experts. Be your own expert. I guarantee you will lose so hard if you deify, you use anybody and you sort of rely on them to figure it out for you. You got to figure it out for yourself. A lot of people haven't figured it out for themselves who you think have figured it out. That's what I'm trying to say. Always go and do your own research. You be your own guide, your own financial advisor. It's imperative. If you don't get it, understand who you think has things figured out. And this is true in a lot of walks in life. The people you think have things figured out, have things all together, don't. You'd be surprised how chaotic things are for them, right? A lot of your favorite YouTubers don't even make money trading. They make money off of referring you to their exchanges, buying their courses, YouTube revenue. There's nothing bad about that. They're running legitimate businesses. They're making honest money. Not disparaging them for that. But just so you understand, maybe they make some money buying and holding Bitcoin throughout the years, but they're not making money trading. They're not market wizards. You understand? So if you want to make money trading, don't get it twisted. Do your own research. Be skeptical. Don't trust. Verify. Very important. DYDX, same thing. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very bullish. Inverse head and shoulders. Breakout, retest, breakout. That's it. Guys, it's so simple. It's so simple. The beauty and the simplicity and the elegance tells you it's got to be true. Just like everything else in nature. Nature can get complex, but fundamentally, it's simple and elegant. And that's how it works, right? There's a tilt of the earth. There's precession, a wobble of the earth. There's changing of the poles. But at the end of the day, it's just shit going in circles. That's elegant. One thing revolves around another, The thing that has the most mass creates gravity, and everything revolves around that, so on and so forth. It's simple. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple. It's beautiful. It's elegant. Same thing with your trading. Don't overcomplicate it. No indicators necessary. You can use indicators now, but some indicators will tell you you're overbought. Some indicators will tell you you're oversold. Use them corroboratively. At the end of the day, whatever your indicator says, maybe your indicator is not telling you, but I bet if you go in your indicator, you'll see strong buy for a lot of these, right? RSR. Strong buy. No, not yet. It just says buy, right? A lot of these indicators, a lot of these moving averages. But learn how to use your skills to not be overly dependent on these indicators, because it's all in front of you. It's so easy. It's so clear. And this is maybe the difference between you making life-changing money and you missing out. Okay. Massive head and shoulders on Harmony, about to break out. MOVR. Massive. This is the head and shoulders. Breaking out right now. Okay? It's going to move a lot faster and a lot higher than most people think. Remember that. And it's not just a statement, but you know, this is what the charts are showing us, right? You've just in Chainlink retested this midline. You're coming up here, okay? Dot, breakout, inverse head and shoulders, breakout, massive breakout from all of these 100 days of consolidation, breakout of these 100 days of downtrend. It's very simple. Key, it's basically broken out, retested the top of this this entire accumulation range. Expect a breakout, and that is it, guys. Right now Bitcoin's at 24,500, 600 and counting. Again, it's not just going to go slowly up and up and up. It's going to just jump like quantumly to these levels. You'll see, and in 2 months time we'll see where we're at. All right, guys, hope this was helpful, hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. Hope you're well positioned in this market. Again, hope you're making a lot of money. Hope you do make a lot of money. Don't sell too early. Look at the high time frame. Do not sell yourself short. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.